No. Peoples don't even got no cold water. People's just got hot water. And I used to tell somebody, do not call my water hot. My water is not hot. It is room temperature. You want a hot water? No, I want a room temperature water. I'm wondering, should I go get another bottle before things happen? Let me do that. Hold up, y'all. Hold up, look at the chair and how I faded it. How we sitting down on these sheets. A lot. But the people didn't know. The people said she was gonna dress how she would dress when she got out the shower. The people said that she was gonna make sure that she was aesthetically pleasing right here and comfortable everywhere else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, 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 you guys. It is Sylvie414, and I is Sylvia Rough Edge Lady. Just coming to bring you just a little bit of that one in the middle for some balance. You gonna see things this way maybe, and they gonna see things this way maybe. That one is gonna come together to help us bring some balance and some understanding. Not particularly condoning or agreeing, but some understanding is all. Period. We got to be here together. So why not try to understand? We don't have to agree with what somebody do, but we don't have to kick them for what they do either. If we all fighting around this piece to want to be able to do us, you want to do you, I want to do me, but then we have a problem when somebody want to do them because we don't like what their do them means. But we cannot, somebody just said it, and I have been saying it. We cannot make people conform to our way of thinking, our way of living, any of that. But we can't have a conversation with somebody and, find a, it's an agreement to disagree. That's why it says agree to disagree. Come together, you talk about some things, okay, you still feel how you feel, but we have had a discussion. Period. Discussions help because sometimes discussions will make things better. I don't know if I ever got up here and talked about my, I didn't. I probably, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But there was a driver that drove me to one of my appointments. When where'd she drive me to? She drove me to one of my doctor's appointments. And she's been a little bit brash. I'm brash. Look, this conversation goes a place because later on the same day after I finish telling this story, I'm gonna go ahead on it and be transparent up here. I try to be as transparent as I can anyway, but I'm gonna go ahead on and give y'all a little bit of my life because that young lady, when I got in the car with her after that doctor's appointment, one thing for sure and two things for certain, she listened to me. Oh, y'all, pause. I hope y'all have had a wonderful day. Please forgive me. I'm a little ignorant sometimes, but I hope y'all have had a wonderful day and a wonderful week, because guess what? It ain't even hump day, it's Friday, baby. It is a lot of people's Fridays and some people's Thursdays, because tomorrow be your Friday. But happy week, y'all. I hope y'all had a good one. But when I got in that young lady's car, all I did was call transportation because she was so rude by this point. I had been in the car with her once before where I tried to be nice and she still came all snappy. So I was like, ugh, I ain't say nothing else about it. But then I get in her car this time and she was rude to me before I got in the car on the phone because she wasn't where she was supposed to be And I'm not going to sit outside in no cold. I'm not going to sit outside in no hot. If it's a place for me to sit inside and watch until my ride come, I'm going to do that. I called her because I think she had called me. She called me. And when I picked up the phone, I said, "You outside?" I have to say, "I'm about to pull off." You about to pull off? What do you mean you about to pull off? How you going to pull off without me? So I got in the car and I called transportation and I told them how rude she was because I was tired of it by this point. I don't want no parts of it. Rude. Fast forward to when I began my therapy again. Look, y'all, I say up here all the time and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. If shadow work is something that you are not able to do on your own because it ain't no easy thing, go sit down in a chair. Go sit down with a therapist who is licensed and make sure they got a little bit of sense. My therapist got sense. I ain't saying she a perfect person because there ain't no human on this earth is, but she got sense. And I believe she has either been therapied or is being therapied right now. So I get in there. I have my first therapy appointment. Nope. Matter of fact, look, I'm telling the story wrong, y'all. Y'all forgive me. She took me to my first therapy appointment. She did not blow the horn. She normally blew the horn. She didn't blow the horn this time. When I got in the car, I think she spoke. We still ain't say nothing because we knew who each other was and neither one of us was feeling the other. So I wound up getting on the car with my cousin. When I got on the car with my cousin, look, I'm advertising this book again, y'all. When I got on the phone with my cousin, I was telling her about Good Morning Monster. Y'all want to read a good book, and it's true. Good Morning Monster is a good book. It's taken me a little bit because while I am a great reader, I have a lot going on, and I haven't always been an avid reader. Reading is something that I'm just learning because God wants me to do it. So I have to learn to enjoy whatever God wants me to do. So Catherine Gildener. It's taken me a little bit to read it. I'm almost finished, though. But I was talking to my cousin about one of the cases. It's a therapist telling her story, a psychologist telling her story of 5 of her clients. So I was telling my cousin about one of the cases, and when I got off the phone, she was like, "Was that true? Because that was deep." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "It's true." I said, she took some of her other clients and meshed the stories so that she would keep anonymity, but it's a true book. So that, her listening to me talk to my cousin got us to talking. And it got us to a point where we are now very friendly in that car communication. That one in the middle. Just if we could drop the pride, because I know most of the ladies, I be telling my girlfriends a whole lot of the times. We hard. We hard women. She was a hard woman. Women that are learning how to come out of some of that masculinity. We're going to talk about a little bit of anemas, because I have always talked about anema, which is for the men, but then God would like your platform for the women. It's for the men too, but it's for the women mostly. So I should be talking about anemas and not anema. But when I say we had such a great conversation after I came out of my therapist's office that she felt comfortable enough to say to me when I got in the car when we started talking, because she waited for me. She said, "I'm going to wait for you." I was like, Lord, look at you. Look at you, Lord, working things and stuff out with peoples. Because I got outside of myself and because she got outside of herself. Because she said when I got back in that car, she said, I said I was going to try a different thing today. I said, and so did I. And so did I. And we sat there and we had a great conversation. It took so much to the point she said, "You know I was pissed off with you the first time you got in my car." Well, it wasn't the first time. Oh, no, she said the last time. The last time you got in my car. I said, "You know I was pissed off with you the last time I got in your car." I'm the customer. Period. I shouldn't have to feel like that. My customers can't feel like that. The God don't even want me to make these jaws to feel like that. This customer service still. The God told me a soft answer turns away wrath. And sometimes the soft answer don't know where to find itself out of its mouth. So the God has to check me. And that's what be going on. And so later on that day, I get on the phone and I'm talking to my Mini-Me 3000 because you remember I told you that the young lady was brash and I told you that we're going to bring forward the next part of the conversation. So I'm on the phone talking to my Mini-Me 3000, letting this young lady know how much of a good day that I have had. There's tension between me and my Mini-Me 3000. No hate, no anything like that. We got tension and we have fought. Judge me. I never in a million years felt like we would have done it. Well, we did. And we, in my opinion, and she may tell the story a different way, but I'm willing to tell my story the same way. And she may be willing to tell hers the same way. I have always raised my daughters to say whatever you want to, as long as you say it in a respectful manner. You hear me call her Mini-Me 3000. You hear me say I'm brash. She's Mini-Me 3000. So I also say that I can only be so mad at her. Because she took that and went all the way everywhere else. Unless she got a problem with her mama. She don't use that thing that I taught her on her mama. She used it all the way around everywhere but on her mama. So this day, I'm telling her how good my day is going and that I started counseling this therapy again. And she's like, well, you need the therapy because you know you brash. And that allowed to trigger me because I'm in therapy. I'm not therapied. Look, before I went to my therapist, my therapist knows I know my triggers and all of that stuff like that. We skip right past all of that. I won't like with nobody in that book. I ain't scared to talk to you. If whatever you need me to tell you, I'm going to tell you. Unless I don't know. I don't believe that I'm blocking anything. But so when my daughter called me brash, it triggered me. And we got into it. And then she went to bringing up some things that I have said about them. They ain't never said. I tell them I walk around eggshells on both of them. With both of them because Mini-Me 1.5 is her sister's keeper. So anything that we may have gets thwarted if Mini-Me 3000 has an issue. And Mini-Me 3000 keeps bringing 1.5 name. And 1.5 don't really talk. She don't really talk. So you bringing her name into it and me and you got the issue, then that feels like she got an issue with me too. So I contact her. And we ain't really talked since then. That was before Thanksgiving. That was before Thanksgiving. And I have talked to my oldest daughter, but it has not been the same. But that brash statement is look, God told me not to allow my buttons to be pushed 3 whole years in a row. 3 whole years, almost consecutive dates almost. Told me 1 year in September, 1 year in November, and the next year in October. Don't allow your buttons on the same pulpit. Don't allow your buttons to be pushed. I take what I need when I believe that God is speaking to me. That first year, God said, don't allow your buttons to be pushed. Woo, buddy. I didn't know nothing but a push button. I was like, how does this work, God? They keep pushing them. By the time God was done with me, and God ain't even done with me, but done with me to a point where I'd never, ever say they pushed them because I am in control of my buttons. That's why I said I was triggered when my daughter said I was brash. And let me do you one better. After my daughter told me I was brash, I came home and I wrote in my book. I'm writing a book, y'all. Things move slowly because I got a lot on my plate, but God said it ain't more than I could bear. So I picked my book up because I hadn't written in it since prior to Thanksgiving, which would have been prior to me speaking to my daughter on that phone. Do you know the last place that I wrote in my book was, God, you know I'm brash. I don't need nobody to tell me what I know about me. I don't need anybody that does not want me to step on their toes like that, because I back up from my daughter's toes unless y'all call me and say some things where I just can't speak. Just like I told my spiritual mom today. My spiritual mom is younger than me and she's my sister cousin. And we just started speaking again probably about a month ago. And I told her today on the phone, first I said, oh, maybe I'm not going to speak. Maybe I'm just going to listen. when you talk this time, because when I speak, there's a problem. I want people to tell me, don't respond, just listen. So I just said I was gonna do it on my own. And before it got said and done, I was speaking, and I let her know, look, don't get mad at me. Come back to speak. I mean, sometimes I just gotta speak, but I don't feel like it is. I would have never spoke on somebody's therapy. I didn't speak on hers when she started therapy. I could have ignorantly said something about her therapy and her needing it, but I didn't. So I did not feel like it was fair or equitable because my daughters are adults. I have apologized time and time again for whatever it may be. They tell me I wasn't a bad mom. Any parent will have issues. Whatever it is that you feel like I need to have apologized for, I have attempted to do that on several occasions, and they told me that it didn't seem sincere. So at this point, all that I can do is sit back and allow God to do whatever God gonna do, because I don't believe that my family is meant to be separated. But what I had to do was set my own. That was me setting a boundary. That was me setting a boundary, because I don't set no boundaries. And then they can talk till they blue in the face about them walking on eggshells around me, but I'm always the one that calling somebody with my feelings hurt. So how are you walking on eggshells? I don't even be calling just to be trying to. I be just trying to have a good conversation at this time. But Me 3000. When we on the phone, it's almost like I'm her ticking time bomb. So I'll just give you a break, because I don't want to make you tick, baby. Look, I take responsibility for all my buttons. So I can't, I'll stay out of the way if you ain't taking responsibility for your buttons at this point. I don't know. That's just how I feel about that. But I had a good day with that driver, though. My children are always going to be my children. You know, regardless of how it go down. If they need me right now, they got their mama. Because I'm not mad. I think they're a little upset. As I miss my oldest daughter's birthday. Thanksgiving is her birthday, and that's what we do to celebrate generally. So I said I wasn't going for Thanksgiving this year, and I meant it. Why? Because I asked my spiritual mama how many years I have said I wasn't going. Ask her how many years I have said I am not going, because they invite me over maybe 2 or 3 times a year. They cancel half of that because my youngest daughter done got mad, and then they make Thanksgiving a thing. Like I'm privileged to walk in their space, and I'm not that person for anybody. I'm not that sounds like pity, and I won't even be pitied by my children. Hey, I'm okay. I'm better than okay. I'm very good. I am very good. Y'all, let me tell you something. It be hot in here. I gotta clean my glasses. It be hot in here, and this makeup on my face don't help. And I'm not gonna turn my heater down, because what I'm not fixed to do is be cold. I will be hot before I be cold. Y'all, I just cut up the video. Well, I'm still cutting up the video. Speaking about, no, what I was about to say. I don't know. Scratch that. I think I did post the video. I just said that's what it was. I apologize, y'all. I said that what I wanted to do at the beginning of my videos, I'm gonna shout this out from now on. Mariko Johnson. I have a playlist about Mariko Johnson, and I would love for y'all to take a look at that playlist. His trial starts in July, and we believe he innocent. And what we don't want is 20 years to go by, and then we're going back to try and get him out of jail. We don't want him to spend another year in jail, because he's just sitting in jail based off of information that they don't have nothing to go to trial with. He's just sitting there. So if y'all can take a look at the Mariko Johnson case, I have a playlist. It's titled Mariko Johnson. Y'all go check out The Real Dana. She also has covered his case with Judge Joe Brown. Um, and his wife just started following me. She subscribed, and that blew my mind because I had just talked about her. I had just finished talking about her with a friend of mine, and he asked me, and she followed me after that, and I was just like, okay, Lord, look, I take things, I look at signs, and to me that felt like the biggest sign. I said me being in her car, I don't believe was, look, she just commented on that today. I don't believe that me being in her car was for no reason. So I said that I want to take time, you know, each time I go live just to call out his name. And if y'all would just check out the playlist, go Google his name. It's not much. It's not much talking about it. That would really get me. It's not much talking about it as far as mainstream media goes. I saw one article. I think it was the Philadelphia Post. It was some paper in Philadelphia, and then Wavy 10 had the briefest thing about it, the very briefest. And so it's not gonna. It's not. I don't feel like it'll get as much traction as it need unless y'all help. So if y'all can like it, share it, and thank y'all because y'all been sharing my shit. Y'all been sharing my shit. Y'all, we is almost at 200. Look, God told me, grow my platform organically. And it ain't no joke, YouTube. It ain't no joke. But we almost at 250 subscribers. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited. So let's get into some things and some stuff. And I'm not going to be before y'all long. I have an itch on my foot, y'all. That is what I'm doing right now. I am scratching the itch on my foot. Thank you and please. All right. Get these scriptures out of the way, and then we're gonna talk about some things. We run the world, girls. We run the world, girls. Woo. We run the world, girls. Oh, I don't know how good a thing that is. Marsha Warfield thinks that we should run the world, but the way that these girls is out here cutting the fool and things working in favor of the girls that's out here cutting the fool, is those the girls that's supposed to run the world, Marsha Warfield? Because I think anybody that run the world going forward need to sit down in the chair first, because I don't know that the people that run it now sit down and get therapy. I definitely know some of these people that we be talking about probably, I don't know, Lego. Proverbs 29 and 19. Well, where is my paperback? Hello. Because y'all know I probably be wanting to read the before. The before and the after. Okay. So Proverbs, yeah, we're not going to read those little words yet. We're not going to do that until I can say that I need to be over there in those little words. Verse 19, a servant will not be corrected. Y'all know what I did not do? I didn't go in and do my... Look, I told my peoples, and I've been at this for like 2 or 3 hours. But that was reading my scripture and gathering the rest of my content. But I didn't go in and study my scripture. But guess what? I've been studying most of it for so long. The Quran, I can't find how to study that yet. The Apocrypha, yeah. But I've been studying this Proverbs and Genesis for so long. Proverbs and the Torah, the wisdom in the Torah. I got you. You can always make sure that you go and check behind me. I'll tell y'all like Kevin Swan be telling us. Don't trust me. Go read it for yourself. Study to show thyself approved. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understands, he will not answer. The verse before that. Verse 18. Where there is, oh Lord, them words a little. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. In verse 20. Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope of a fool than of him. And then we have Genesis 12:10. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn. I am mad that I didn't just go in and break it down, because I wanted to make sure that this was saying what I feel like it was saying. Because what got me says so. Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. The surah was when 11 and 105. When the day arrives, no one will dare speak except with his permission. Some of them will be miserable, others joyful. Maccabees, 1 Maccabees 8 and 14. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple to be magnified thereof. So as far as a servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understands, he will not answer. So that feels to me, and I'm just gonna go off of what it feels, because these are what I try to do is choose new verses. Even though I've been studying Proverbs, the wisdom and the Torah, since probably like 2018. I've been studying it since 2018, but sometimes I still come across, it's a lot of verses, and I don't do like pastors might choose maybe 3 or 4 verses. I don't do that. I get one out of each, because I got something. I think when I was studying the names of God, I was reading one of the stories in there, and it was talking about a pastor who took one verse and did his sermon. He said he preached over 1,000 sermons because he used one verse. I'm like, well, it's a whole lot of verses in the Bible if you break them down verse by verse, because you probably can preach you could preach off Jesus' wealth. You could teach off Jesus' wealth. So a servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understands, he will not answer. So that just means to me, and look, I'm going to study when I get finished to make sure I told the people's right. And if I didn't tell the people's right, I'm going to come back and I'm going to apologize and correct myself. Because I'm just looking down and I'm like, wait, you didn't go to now commentary. But that to me feels like sometimes you have to get people's attention. I can tell you something till I'm blue in the face. But if you ain't going to answer, it's because you're not listening. If you're not answering me, you either can't hear or you're not listening. So if you're not listening, then I'm going to have to do something to get your attention. And what I may have to do to get your attention may be something drastic. If I need you to listen to me, if I need you to hear me, if I need you to pay attention, if I need you to be corrected. Because if I allow you to keep going, and believe you me, that when the Quran talks about servants, because that's how I go in and find my Quran verses right now. When the Quran, what I was looking up about servants, you're supposed to treat them right. They say you supposed to dress them like you dress yourself. They supposed to eat what you eat. Look, I just said, and look, I said I didn't want to do this, but I'm not out there taking pictures. But I made 5 plates. I was blessed. My girlfriend just wanted to put my name on the list for a church. So they gave me a turkey. I still have a bag of collard greens in my freezer, like a grocery bag full of collard greens in my freezer. And I had a pot full of collard greens. A pot full of collard greens. Had a turkey. I already had candy yams and macaroni. So I fixed 5 plates yesterday. I said I was going to take the 5 plates. I deal with eczema, y'all, and it's a patch on my foot that will not stop itching. My eczema is kind of acting up. I was live the other night and had to stop myself from scratching my daggone finger. I said, Lord, I'm just looking like a dirty little heifer up here. But I'm not. I deal with eczema. But I decided that I was going to fix 5 plates just to make sure that I wasn't wasting any food by it just going bad. Now, my collards, I normally eat them till they gone. But I didn't feel like I would eat all. I'm not big on turkey. So I said all that to say, when I fixed the plates, I ain't put no candy yams and no macaroni out there because I ain't had that much. But that's the only reason I ain't put them up there. Because I ain't had that much. And I was going to put a dot up there, but I was like, Lord, there's really going to be a dot because everything was good to me. And the first man that I gave a plate, he wound up saying, oh, did you cook this? He said, no. He said, it smelled good. Did you cook this? I was like, yes, sir, I did. I said, I love to cook. And I said, I was making plates. I said all that to say, I fed them that's what God knows my desire is. I will never knock a church for feeding because some people will. Some people will knock that that's all the church want to do is give you a turkey. I done heard that said but what I will say, and I am not afraid to say this 50 times, you're not always going to get good food. You should be satisfied that you're getting something food. And I said, God, I want to feed people good food. I want to feed people amazing food. Even if it's struggle meals, I want it to be great. I say that because I made some beans. I like beans. I made some black-eyed peas. And I kept saying for 2 days, I was like, I wonder what black-eyed peas would taste like with sour cream in them. So on that 3rd day, I put some sour cream in my black-eyed peas. I put some cheddar cheese in my black-eyed peas and some salsa. And it made a whole nother meal. When I tell you, I felt like a glut. Because by the time I ate a 1/3 of the bowl, I started feeling full. But it was so good that I couldn't stop eating. I felt like such a glut. Oh my God. But it was good. I said, Lord, the peoples would eat that too. I just want the people to eat good food. If people are struggling and they can't eat, I know that they are appreciative for whatever that they can get in their mouth. But folk love good food. And I just want to fix some folks some good food. So I am learning how to do more from scratch so that I can cut costs and things like that. I just posted my video last week, or a couple of weeks ago, where I made homemade chicken pastry noodles. Some of them were a little thick, but I told my aunt, I said, I believe that I know that there's a difference between, the noodles, the pastry noodles, and when it's dumplings. I think the dumplings are a little thicker. So the thicker ones just put me in the mind of what I felt like dumplings would taste like. Yeah, I don't know how I got there, but I got there. Now I'm back. Why I really wanted to study Genesis, because I feel like there is something first and foremost, I take this platform, and I say it on this platform all the time, I was Abraham. When I started this platform, let me tell you about me in live videos. The first time I experienced live videos was when Facebook first started allowing people to go live. I wasn't on YouTube back then. Even though I've had a YouTube page for 6 years, I was never active on YouTube. I might come up here and sing a song back in the day when I was in my most fear. When I was in my most fear, what I was doing to try to step outside of fear. Welcome, 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 y'all. Like, share, and subscribe if y'all don't mind. If y'all liking what I be putting out there. But when I was in my most fear, I did try to, keep singing anyway. God knows, as much as I love to sing, I never particularly feel like I had to do it in front of people, even though my uncle always wanted me to. He tried to get me to the Apollo. He had me in nightclubs when I was 12, scared me silly. He scared me silly early. But I felt like this was an Abraham mission, because when I was on Facebook and people used to go live and they used to come up in my notifications, I used to be like, why is it coming up in my notifications? I ain't asked for that. And then once God put me on the journey, on the Abraham journey, I said, Lord, now I'm coming up in people's notifications. And they probably saying the same thing. Why is she coming up in my notifications? I ain't asked for that. But God just said, go live. And when I say that from the time that I started, because first I wasn't Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was. I was just doing short little lives, about 15 minutes. Because it has transformed 3 different times so far. So after I started going live for a couple of years, then I got a word that said, post your videos. And I was like, what is that supposed to mean to me, Lord? I'm already going live. But that's when I started creating short videos. I started cutting up my live content and creating short videos when I got that one. Started doing that for probably about a year, maybe 6 to 8 months to a year. And then one of my heart babies came in my inbox and she was like, Mom, she said, I see the way you be posting your videos. I'm about to invite you to this group. So it was a group on Facebook. It made me made me a little bit of supplemental income for a little while Facebook was still paying for their reels. They don't pay for reels anymore. Y'all know social media is going through a thing, but I'm believing in God. I'm believing in God because God put me out here on this journey and that I am going to be paid. I don't know how, but God done led me all this way. Because once I started posting those videos and got invited to that page, that to me, that was God showing me, see, all I need for you to do is get consistent, which is what I have been doing since prior to Thanksgiving. And that's why I want to say to y'all, like YouTube, I don't never want to leave Facebook and Instagram out, but YouTube and TikTok, baby. And YouTube, y'all have been on one. I opened my phone yesterday. I opened my phone yesterday morning to look at my analytics. And whenever you look at your analytics, it's going to tell you how many subscribers you have. You can't. I had 243 subscribers. That afternoon, I went in to cut up some content because once you go into your live, whenever you go into a live, it's going to show you how many subscribers you have as well. And I wasn't even looking for it. And it just happened to catch my eye. I said, well, I will be damned. I done caught 3 subscribers today. And then I caught one today. Thank y'all. Thank y'all that put me at 247. We is at 247, YouTube. Y'all and TikTok, since Thanksgiving, since I have been showing y'all that I know how to be a little more consistent, y'all have been on it with me. TikTok and YouTube have been consistently growing since I have been on it. And again, TheGows said organic. So I'm not expecting that I'm going to get hundreds of followers at a time right now. But I believe it'll come. Because I do good things, I think. And I think that y'all show me I do good things because y'all keep watching. Even though look, I said it before and I say it again. If I said it before, I say it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, my bad. I don't even know what I said before and I said again. Oh, y'all don't go nowhere. My subscribers, even if y'all don't come back and watch a video again. And that's a lie because I have looked and that has even increased a little bit. So my subscribers are becoming return viewers just a little bit, The graph still look like this for new viewers, and this like it's that much gap, but it used to be down here flat and now it's up a little bit. So yay me. Thank y'all. All right, so I said Abraham, God sent them. Look, leave your family. Just go. I'ma lead you. Just need for you to go. Abraham did not know where he was going. By the time we get here, it says, and there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down. Not only did he go to Egypt, he went down. That makes it say south. He went down. That felt like deep. The famine was grievous in the land. The famine was like my thought process. That's why I wanted to study, because my thought process was, why you go down there where they want nothing to eat? You just went. You just said, oh, we going to go. They hungry over here, but let's go deeper. There had to be, I believe that, look, I just had a conversation with TheGows. I have this conversation because I have been told by a Christian when I was in the homeless shelter. The supervisor, and she lost that job. That mature Christian lost that job. I don't know how to gauge mature Christians. Cause she said, I don't know what all of this stuff about energy is about. I don't know about this energy. And I was like, well, they teach you about it in physical science in school. They teach you about energy from the time that you can take science. It's that stuff that feels electric running through you. Ooh. I get like that when I praise. I get like that when I pray. Anything that excites me can potentially cause electricity. It's energy. Somebody said, look, the God landed me in the religion of Christianity. But in this walk that I have been taking since 2018, you heard me say the God landed me in Christianity, but I'm reading y'all from the Quran and the Apocrypha. And we talk about psychology. That's what Anemus is. And we also talk about chakras and numbers. I did start talking about 144 the other day. I did not go in and get any more study on it. I will have some more study on 144 on Monday. But yeah, and those are all things that nobody will ever be able to tell me the God did not lead me to. The true and living God. The one. It's only one. It cannot be a God of Christianity and a God of Islam. And do y'all know that this, so far what I have been finding in the Quran almost mimics Bible? I think that the only way that the Quran and the Bible differentiate, I think, is the belief in Jesus, really. It is so much that I have read in this Quran, I'll be like, oh, Lord, that was over there. That was over there. God just taught me, taking me on a trip for wisdom. God has blessed me to go into these areas, and I make sure, and I talk to God on a regular basis to keep me, Lord. Keep me from going anywhere you don't want me to go. But don't let me be scared to go anywhere because somebody taught me that I won't pose to. Yeah, I be the rebel rouser. That's what my friend called me. Her called me the rebel rouser for Jesus. So, I was just like, I'm like, see, that electricity. I feel like Abraham had to have a sense of something when he decided that he was going down into the famine. I'm going deep down into the famine. He had to have a sense of some kind of confidence that this is where God was leading him to keep going. I came here kicking and screaming. I didn't want to read the Quran or the Apocrypha because they taught me that you're not supposed to read nothing that ain't in that Bible. God just sent me something that said there is no unsacred place. Just places that you have not entered. And I know every place ain't for me to enter. But wherever the God allows me to go is a sacred place. Period. Period. Now he cut the fool. We don't think I can get into all that. He almost got himself. You trying to keep from getting your wife killed. Getting yourself unalived by the Pharaoh. You're gonna get yourself unalived by the Pharaoh because you trying to get him unalived because you don't want to be honest. Now God never told him don't be honest. God never told Abraham go in there and tell them that's your sister. God never told Abraham that. That was his flesh. Fear is flesh. He was scared. So once you get scared, You might step outside of what you know, get scared, distracted, or nervous. Yeah, my girlfriend that tell me I'm a rubber rouser. She sent me that Tabitha Brown video today, and that was deep. And it didn't even have to get really religious. Said she was backing her car up. She been backing up. Said she learned how to drive a stick when she was 7. Been backing cars up since all of her life. She went to back. She said, I know how to back. Me too. I know how to get out of a space, and I know how to get in one, buddy. And I learned on a stick. Won't that young, but I learned on a stick. So I know what she mean when I can whip out of a space. But when you got there all that newfandangled technology, cause we got to live with this technology too. That technology kind of like that one in the middle, cause you can't live with it or without it at that point, cause you're gonna have to. Don't be A&P. Don't get left behind, cause you don't want to pick up on no technological stuff. You gotta get some of it in you. Might not want to take all of it, cause woo, AI is on the rise. I didn't even go and research that. Said AI attacked an engineer. I forget, my girlfriend sent me, look, people been sending me stuff and I've been trying to, and I didn't go in and research that, so I don't want to talk about that one. But I will go ahead on and say right now that Lovely T and Corey Holcomb both said the same thing, that AI is taking over in the movie. Corey Holcomb said they can have you in there and it ain't even you, but it's going to look just like you. He was talking about Jonathan Majors. They were both speaking. Hello? Oh, my mic has shorts. They were both speaking about Jonathan Majors when they were speaking about AI taking over. So, you know, they, all caps, they trying to cut corners. You know, I said I'm trying to learn how to make everything from scratch around here. They trying to cut corners too. You know, FM Nika. Y'all go Google FM Nika. That's a name I'll never forget. FN Nika. That is an AI who has a record deal. So tell me what Lovely T and Corey Holcomb saying can't be possible. The one in the middle, you better open your mind to see something. Open your mind to see something. But yeah, she got distracted because in the new cars you have beep, beep, beep when you're backing up and when you feel like you're getting too close to something. So every time she backed up and it was beeping like she was getting too close, she got frustrated and forgot about everything that she knew before there was a beep in the car. Catch it! Catch it! Because her technique ain't changed. Her technique ain't changed. That beep was just a distraction. So for a minute, she thought her technique changed. Just thought I thought that one out, child. Yeah, that fear. Fear make you, fear and distractions will, it's enough to get you off your grind. It's enough to, you know. Now, what? Oh, okay. I'm like, what? That don't go. I was trying to put what I wrote next. I put it in the wrong place. So, Maccabees, yet for all this, I apologize. We on the surah. Okay, look, y'all. It's late. When the day arrives, no one will speak except his mission, except with his permission. My writing, I can't read it all the time. It's because I be writing fast. Some of them will be miserable, others joyful. That verse is talking about all the times that thee God done showed you mercy. Remember I said being worse for mercy? That was in the Bible. That was in my Bible study. Being worse for mercies. Come on now, Quran. Said they were desperate and ungrateful to mercy. If that ain't worse for mercy, I don't know what is. If that ain't worse for mercy, desperate and ungrateful. Do you know that mercy is when you don't get something you posed? You remember when you broke that plate and your mom and your dad said, I'm gonna beat you. And then the day went on and somewhere along the line they got nice and they forgot about it or something. They showed you mercy. And in your ungratefulness, you just said, I'm gonna just go throw a plate. Desperate and ungrateful. God ain't gonna give you no more mercy because you don't know what to do with it. And said, then, wait, hold that. Because then it said, I gave you prosperity and you became prideful and boastful. You know that's in the Bible too. That's somewhere around Proverbs 30. Because I think that's Agur talking and he says, or it might be 31, but it's one of those because he say, Lord, don't give me too much. Don't give me too little because then I might go out and cut the food, but don't give me too much because then I might forget you. Prideful and boastful. And prosperity. God can't give you nothing. You don't want to check yourself first. You would just want to think you ready. And I might be the one that dragged. God know God had to throw me off a few counters, but I promise y'all, ask God. Then I tell God a lot. Don't give me no money yet, Lord. I ain't ready. I ain't ready. I ain't ready in my mind, my body, and my spirit. I ain't ready, Lord. But I was ready now. I was ready now. Welcome, 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 you guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Yes. So yeah, this day is talking about like when God comes, everything that you did or did not do. We gonna make it personal? Cause as I was reading that and I was doing something where I was having to say, Lord, please help me, cause I need strength here. Don't think that just because God helped me that we're not gonna have that talk when I see God. It is nothing that you make all the excuses in the world. Pass all the bucks in the world. Pass all the bucks. Don't take no responsibility right now down here on earth if you so choose. God gonna see you. and when that day arrives, oh, I forgot no one. Oh, yes, I did say no one. No one will dare speak except with his permission. I don't want to hear it because you told me all that while you was down there doing it. I don't want to hear it. All of those is excuses. All that you're going to be able to tell the God is, I failed. I ain't do good there. That's the only honor. Anything else is going to be more excuses. If you get up in front of God and try to rationalize the way we sometimes rationalize now, and we will rationalize and then be trying to correct other folks. That's why the Williams brothers said, sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. Oh. Real talk. Real talk. And I promise you, I knew how to sweep around somebody else's door. And I always, look, this is what I rationalize to myself. I only tell you what I tell you to make, because I want you to be better. I still had a front door. I still have a front door to sweep around. I'm not that person anymore. I try with everything in me to stay out of people's business. I try to make it as general. Look, God said this is the platform where you're going to talk to ladies, you're going to step on toes and all that good stuff like that. Y'all going to talk to God about me and this platform. But God said be nice. So I be trying to make sure what I do nicely. Because a soft answer turns away wrath. Not like Geno Jennings answers, because when I was talking to my peoples about Geno Jennings, she was like, I said it, but she didn't catch me say it. But it be the truth. No, she said, that's what I was going to say, because she did catch me. That's what I was going to say. It be the truth. It do be the truth. But guess what? I just posted that video today, and I promise you he fits under reviler or reveler, however you want to pronounce it. He fits under that. He trying to get his point across very, very angrily. Guess what verse that falls in with? The one that says that, the one that everybody loves to concentrate on, that a homosexual is not going to inherit the kingdom of God. Angry people don't seem like they're going to inherit it either. Idolaters, adulterers, fornicators, and hola. Because when I look up the word effeminate in etymonline.com, because I etymology words, God sent me somebody to make sure that I do that. I etymology them and I strongs them. I did not strongs it, but when I looked it up in etymonline.com, effeminate does not, you could say that it describes a homosexual man. But then where does a homosexual woman fit into that? Because 9 times out of 10, I ain't going to say 9 times out of 10, but there are many homosexual women that are not effeminate, that they are very masculine. Effeminate describes behavior. It does not describe sexuality. The King James Version says effeminate. I'm pretty sure other versions changed it. I'm going to go into Strong's. I want to see what Strong's Exhaustive Concordance has to say about effeminate, because the first definitions of effeminate don't even say woman and female. It don't say woman and female till down the line. It just basically says feminine behavior. Now, there is a certain group of men out here that love to call other men, what's the word they call them? Simps. They call men simps when they be letting women walk all over them, and that be like walking in too much feminine behavior. You're not acting manly enough. They don't call them gay, they call them simps. That's effeminate. Storm Monroe tells you that he's not homosexual. He's very effeminate, in my opinion. And there are effeminate people, I believe, that are not homosexual that get the rap of being homosexual because they're effeminate. I believe that God desires for us, because that's what Anema speaks about, that masculine subconscious of the woman and the way she views the men in her life, and the proper way that masculinity is supposed to be used in a woman. We're not supposed to be just walking around here hard all day trying to act like men. Even if we say, because God knows that I am a feminine woman, but that inside part, that masculinity, that it's because we are all masculine and feminine beings. I don't care how much you want to negate it. Go do your psychological research. Go do your scientific research. Go do your spiritual research, baby. How you think God created something that it is not? That is why I said I will learn how to refer to God as it. Umi and he. Umi is my mama. Daddy is my daddy, and he is my daddy. And it is them both. I might have a conversation with my parents. And they it together, because it's not 2 of them. I'm not going to call them him, her. Not always going to say my parents. So there. Here, Maccabees. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was clothed in purple, to be magnified thereof. To be magnified. They didn't wear no crown. They did all this geesh. Because Judas went and okay. Look. Let me take a sip of water. Excuse me, y'all. I'm thirsty and my throat probably sound deep. That was a good swallow of water, y'all. All right, so Judas Maccabees. Oh, dang. I think I'm almost finished, maybe. Maybe not. Judas Maccabees, I've discussed that, so I'm going to try to in brief right quick before I get to this verse. Jerusalem. Israel. You know, it was all one. 12 tribes of Israel. Jerusalem was where they resided. Gave y'all a king because y'all wanted a king. First few kings was good. Then the kings in Jerusalem started to be not for the people, but for themselves. And then Judah said, y'all are doing mean and ugly and wrong things, and we don't want to be a part of that anymore, so we're going to detach from you. We're going to go down here and make our own kingdom. So y'all stay up here in the north, and we're going to go down here to the south, and we're going to be the south kingdom, and we're going to be the good ones. We're going to be the good people. And they did that for a bit. And it's not easy. The God is, I stay in prayer, and I'm not even there yet. And look, Cardi B said, don't be asking to be famous and all that stuff like that. Don't be asking to be celebrity. She said, you regret what you asked for when you asked that stuff like that. All I'm doing is going forward the way that the God sent me, but I do believe that I'm going to be a bigger platform, and I do believe that the covering that I'm asking for is necessary. Because it's not easy, I don't believe. I don't care what the height. Biggie said more money, more problems. And that comes with position as well. But the thing being, Judas and them said, yeah, we don't want to keep being no parts of this, so he went off. I just told my spiritual mother, I said that dude was Nat Turner on OD. Nat Turner on OD. You don't really hear about the Hasmonean Dynasty Rebellion. Because they told you not to read this book. They told you not to read this book. He took some men. He took his family, and he took some men that was willing to fight. He was like, if y'all willing to fight, come on, let's go, because I'm not for this. So we going down here to be in our own place. And the big people from Judah and Jerusalem was like, excuse me, y'all. The big people from Judah and Jerusalem was like, yeah. Oh, I got makeup all on the daggone Bible. Good thing it's love and it just wipes off. He was like, yeah, come on with me. We're going to protect y'all. So he took them down there. They fought off several of the king's horses and the king's men. And in this last one, they just got rid of Nicanor. If y'all Google Nicanor, y'all will see that there was a holiday set after Judas and his peoples got rid of Nicanor. There's a whole holiday in the, not the Torah, the Talmud. It's in the Talmud. So then, before he takes Nicanor out, he takes out some of the men that he brought down there with him, because they decided that they was gonna. I guess they got scared. Jews like, if you scared, say you scared, but what you don't do is walk out on me, buddy, because he did away with them. And then he went. This is him, verse 8, chapter 8, is him coming to. Y'all, I be nosy. I said I was gonna turn off my my notifications when I be live, so I don't be all like this on top of the phone. So at this point, he done got rid of Nicanor, but he need help, because he is like a Gideon army. Like, he got a small army. You know, God told Gideon, you're gonna do this with a small army, but he went and rebelled. So he just had a few little people. So he goes to the Romans. He talks to the Romans, and he's talking about all the accolades, you know, that they have, and how friendly they were, and this, that, and the other. And, you know, he's going on and on and on about all of the accolades and everything. And then we get down to number 8, verse 8. And they said, yet for all of this, none of them wore a crown. They wasn't boastful. They wasn't boastful. They didn't have to have no titles. They didn't have to have no crown. You know, some people gotta be bishop. You gotta call me. You can't. We ain't even in no church. We in the store, and you want me to call you bishop? Doctor? You're not even in the office. I have to call you doctor when I see you at the amusement park. Whew. They be wearing that crown. They be magnifying themselves. Jesus ain't even magnify himself. Jesus stays saying, I'm here about my Father's business. You know, they talk like he was a G. He could have easily magnified himself. Or the peoples be wanting the clout. Peoples be liking attention, fame, infamy. Remember when I talked about that? Infamy don't have no money attached to it. And after I did that video about infamy, I think I heard Tasha K talking about the Instagram models. So they ain't getting paid like models was back then. They up there doing it for fame. When she said fame, I said infamy because I had just did that video. You want to get your name out there. You want people to know who you is. What you feel like when you go home. When you famous because you want the people to know who you is. When you home, there's no people there. There's no people there. Look, I asked my peoples that, and it was an honest question because I felt like that was really deep. She was telling me about, I don't know if this was someone she knew personally, but the man was homosexual. I think he was a pastor. And he knew, he said he knew he had urges towards men. So he said anytime that he went out, he took 5 mothers of the church with him so that they could be around him all the time. And I'd be real talk around it. I said, well, what do he do when he get home? When he don't have to be out on the road? So he's home more than he's out on the road, I can't imagine. Or he just stay going so he ain't never got to be alone. Like, how you stop those urges any other time? I have that question because that's got to be deep for somebody that, you know. Look, that Zeigler woman, y'all see Zeigler in my... She was on a mission to the article said her and DeSantis was trying to put people back in the closet. So you was what's the word? Because I didn't even write that in the daggone notes. What she was saying. She wasn't me tooing the teachers, but basically trying to get it. It sounded like so that homosexual teachers might not be in no position to teach because you were trying to accuse them of being predators. That is the very most ignorant thought process in the world, especially because it's very much almost an oxymoron when you think about, because these people, those ones, they be big time. When we talk about the Zeiglers, we gonna talk about it because, you know, they were big time Christians. You know, the Republican Christians, I forgot what they call those ones. I've been trying to think of it all day and forgot to Google it. What they call the very, very conservative, I keep saying ecclesiastical, and that's not it. But they're very, very conservative. They very, very are not. They are not pro homosexuality. We're gonna stick a pin in that, and we're gonna come back to the Zeiglers because, trying to have people to live life the way you live life is never gonna work. But the word arseniturkoi, Google that word, arseniturkoi. So this woman was the Zeigler woman. She posted some kind or retweeted some kind of post, and I haven't Googled to see what that was about, but it was in reference to a former gay student. Keep all of that in mind, because We haven't quite gotten to the Zeiglers, but it's all gonna fall into. Oh yeah, we have. We have. I'm there. I'm tripping because they was my first story. I just started talking early. That's all. So it's Bridget and Christian Zeigler. She is on the school board in Florida. He is on the Senate in Florida. He holds a chair in the Senate for Florida. He has been accused of R-ing a woman. It is said that there is a video that shows that it was consensual. But in the last 2 weeks, this has been going on, I think, for the last month. In the last 2 weeks, they're trying to force him to resign, and they're trying to force her to resign. His pay has been cut. The first article that I read said that it was they cut his pay by $120,000. The second the BBC.com, the first article was CBS News. CBS News. And the second article was BBC. BBC said they cut his pay down to $1. So he's on $1 pay, and he's refusing to resign because he said he is not guilty. This is what happened. Cause look, I don't even know if I talked about Trevor Bauer the other day, but Trevor Bauer is a Major League Baseball player who is clearing his name right now because he had rough relations with the young lady, and she wound up accusing him. And all of her conversations about what she was going to do was recorded. He said it was consensual, and then she wound up with more bruises maybe than she cared to have. Like, when you're doing something like that, that's almost S&M is what it sounded like, which is a real thing. You might better get some contracts signed. You out here S&M people, because you might around and lose your life. Lose your livelihood, because Christian lost 2 years of his prime years. He was a top pick pitcher in Major League Baseball. And so Christian Zeigler is in a position right now. My thing is, regardless of what I keep saying this, regardless of what you may feel about somebody, and I'm finna prove it with Bridget. We gonna come back to the old gay student. Regardless of what you feel about somebody, they could be the cruddiest people. Fault them for the things that they did. Don't try to get them on some little thing, on some technicality, because you can't get them on what they did. That young man came in there and said, one thing for sure and two things for certain, you need to lose your job. You need to lose your job because you don't know how to do it and you don't like it. You put your children in private school because you don't believe in the public school and you treat your position as such. He said, but what you don't need to lose your job for is because you decided to have sex with a woman. Because that's where they was having the threesome. Her and her husband with that other woman. This particular night, Bridget says she doesn't want to go. She couldn't make it. And so it's said that the woman said, well, I'd rather not because I was more into Bridget. But it's saying that he has a video that is saying that this was consensual. We're going to come to what that title means as well. We're going to talk about what that title means in a bit. Let's see. He said, this was the irony in the young man, because she's a conservative Republican, conservative Christian Republican. They are 9 times out of 10 anti-homosexual. You can't really say that you anti-homosexual. If you were saying that at one point, baby, you can't say it now because you done lied with a woman. But let me tell you about that. Let me go back to that Arsenal. Because she lied with a woman, right? That's why the boy said she only lose her job just because of her private life. That's her private life. And they not trying to take the job from her for that. They're trying to take the job from her because her husband is being accused. And Mr. Max Greenwood, he works for the Miami Herald. He's a senior political correspondent. He said that the reason that they want her gone is because it's a bad look on the Republicans. That's judging somebody for something they ain't do. That's judging. You ain't get her out of there when she was making a mockery of the school system. Because y'all was good with that. Because y'all on the same team. Now they make y'all look bad. But y'all known for what she was doing as a Republican. Y'all known for doing stuff like that. But they want to make y'all look bad. So y'all want her out because it looked bad. And they said they're not going nowhere. They said we're not going anywhere. But she co-founded a Moms of Liberty. She co-founded a group called Moms of Liberty that was under the guise of being supportive because they was moms, but it was all for the purpose of getting a Republican vote, is what the article said. Said she wasn't gonna be able to keep up that Chase Church Woman Act anymore. That's why I said she definitely can't, because she lied with a woman. Now our Senator Croy says man lying with male. So go do the etymology of what a male is. Because we are so deep on homosexuality, because they all fall in that definition. Don't get it twisted. But if we gon' rock hard, for one, we should be rocking even harder for our Senator Croy. The first definition, cause homosexuality ain't down there to the bottom. About 3 definitions up here. And I might bring them for y'all and make a video about it. Because the first one is man lying with male. Them first 3 definitions is, the first one is man lying with male. And I'll break down male for you. Male is anything from the time that baby come out your butt. That's a male. You remember I said that Bridget was lying with a woman. It didn't say man lying with man. It said man lying with male. There's a whole lot of lost babies come up at Disney World. They say, I don't be knowing, I be watching folks. So allegedly they say that babies be disappearing in Disney World. And our little boy babies, you know, we be so busy trying to teach them that they're men as little babies. I watched that video on TikTok. And everything in me wanted to comment, but I didn't because she wasn't saying wrong things. But all I kept saying was, ooh, do we get a chance to be a little boy? Because you done trained them right good on what to say. I am a man, something. It was all good, I promise you. But it all seemed like programming. I looked in his eyes and it looked like he was tired of saying it for one day. Sure. Do he get to go outside and play and just be a boy? Go look up the definition of boy in etymonline.com. I need for us to start protecting our boys. I don't even got now. We got to protect the boys. Because the girls run the world. Because if the girls say it for the 9 times out of 10, it's so. So there, I went on ahead and told you what that article means. But I'm going to read something that says right there. Oh, okay. How I get over there on that page yet? Oh, yeah, I'm going to read that first, and then I'll go back to that. I was watching a podcast called THPP, and they was talking about Jonathan Majors. He said, we live in a time where the simple act of being accused is sufficient for people to think you're guilty, and the simple act of being the accuser has everyone convinced that you are innocent and not capable of any wrongdoing. And y'all know I've been saying even about the whole Puffy thing, let him get punished for what he did wrong. Don't let him get punished for the heifers coming out the woodworks just trying to get a bag. There are those, ladies. Marsha Warfield said that we supposed to run the world, but I'm seeing a whole lot of shit that say, no, not the way we going. And not just, because the one woman came up there, because I contested. She was like, when women start running the world, what's the first thing you're going to do? Hope women don't run the world. Hope that well-balanced people, men and women, well-balanced, are going to run the world. Because you just start throwing women in there, you're going to have a worse job than you have right now. And one woman came on And she was like, don't you see what patriarchy has done? And I was like, Lord, that's emotional if I ever heard emotional. Get out of your feelings, son. Because just replacing all of the crazy men by a whole bunch of crazy women, ooh, don't y'all know we get crazier? We got a show called Snap. They don't. Woo, ladies. I just be sighing. Because everybody is tripping about this Jonathan Majors. And you can say, yeah, he brought it on because you feel like maybe he shouldn't have been dating a white chick. Because the chick on Corey Holcomb, 5150, y'all go check out Corey Holcomb, Lord. I started out saying the clock be right twice, and now I talk about Corey Holcomb up here more than because he made my chest punch. He made my Ringo TV made my chest punch. Kevin Samuels made my chest punch, and Lord Geno Jennings make it punch more than anything. So Geno is gonna be name gonna be talked about too. And whenever the chest is punching, that means God telling me to go listen to something they saying, because something they saying be right. But that chick up there talking about when she said, it's most of the time that Corey Holcomb is talking, he talk about women, but he talk about the women he know most. You know what I'm saying? He know us because he look like us. When she said it wouldn't have happened if it would have been a sister, I just looked at I said, did she seriously just say that, Lord? And Corey looked at her the same way that I looked at the phone. Is this stuff for serious? Did she just say? And she tried to clean it up to act like she wasn't talking about a black woman, but she was. Because I said all that to say, if he was not dealing with a well-balanced woman, and that damn woman that he was dealing with was not well-balanced, because Time, she started it first and foremost, and I didn't even know that. She started it because he got a text message. You do know that we can just leave. If you ain't willing to deal with that, you can just leave. You don't have to get violent because you can and you got the upper hand, and allegedly it just looks like when your skin look a little more like this, that man whose skin look a little more like this might not get the upper hand. This man has lost his entire career for trying to get away. The last news article I read said that they did not charge him. They threw out the charge that he assaulted her on purpose, which means if it was not on purpose, it was a mistake. So he lost everything for a mistake, and the mistake because she had a bloody ear, and the mistake was probably trying to get her ass off of him so that he could get away, like he was running down the street. He was running down the street. She was running after him, grabbing him. So he just supposed to get grabbed. He just supposed to let her do him in. He not supposed to do anything to defend himself because she a woman. Somebody's not going to care about going to jail, and somebody might not care about unaliving, but you cannot think that it is okay to put your hands on somebody and then everybody not going to put their hands back. That's not how any of that works. It's not how any of that works. Let's get some business about yourself, baby. They called her a woman of chaos. A woman of chaos. Because the next morning she was in his daggone closet, drunk as a skunk, passed out. Like, what in the world? And you wouldn't even allow any of her evidence to come into the courthouse. This is who Marshall want to run the world. Because then on the other hand, look, who was that brought, I was watching Queen Amidala today, and she brought Johnny Depp into it, because Amber Heard got found guilty. She still was able to work. She got fired. I didn't know about that. I was listening to Queen Amidala. She was in whatever the movie is with Lisa Bonet's old husband, Jason Momoa. And they didn't have good chemistry. That's why she lost that job. But you was able to. I think they said she detached a piece of his finger. So this girl had a bruise on her ear, and you lost your whole livelihood. And this man lost his finger, lost a piece of his finger. You crapped on his bed and like a big child. And he lost a piece of his finger. And I think Queen Amidala said that enough that I believe her when she said it. Johnny Depp said, you punched me, and she made sure to say, you were not punched, babe. You were hit. You were hit a lot, but you were not punched. We run the world, girls. I'm just saying. Now look at here. I want to say this about Puffy and Janice. That's his mama. I am a firm believer that right child-parental relationships, the rightest of them, intimacy should not be a problem for a mother or a father. My mother kissed me on my lips. Used to aggravate me. Aggravates my daughter because I did it to them because she did it to me. And I didn't do it to them as often as she did it to me, but I did it to them because she did it to me. She kissed her son on his lips too. We didn't feel abused. We didn't feel abused. I don't know that my ex-husband ever kissed his daughters on their lips. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, I wouldn't have felt like they were abused if he did. So I knew he loved his daughters that way. But it's something a little creepy looking when Janice did it. It was a little creepy looking when Janice kissed Puffy. I don't know if it's because he's that old. I don't know. And then Lovely T was talking about the white nail polish. He got a thing for the white nail polish because Carisha and Cassie was saying he liked the white nail polish. You got on the long white nail polish. And it was just looking so creepy. Just so creepy. And everybody did talk about this. I think I said, if it happened to R. Kelly, could it possibly be that it happened to Puffy? I don't know. I'm just saying. I ain't saying that Janice did that. But I'm saying that was some creepy looking stuff. That's all I'm saying. That was creepy. And I am team kiss your child in the mouth if you want to. But oh my God, can it look less creepy? Is it at all possible? Okay, y'all. Christian Keys. Christian Keys is the dude from all the Tyler Perry movies. The handsome light-skinned dude from all the Tyler Perry movies. He's saying that there's a big executive who... Oh, it is Friday, and it is late. Damn. Like, why is CSI on? I was watching Law and Order. Lovely T feels like he was chasing clout. She believes his stuff is true. She believes that what he's saying is true, but she feels like he is chasing clout. She said, I believe he's chasing clout. She said his followers have grown. Queen Amidala is just hard on his defense. My thing is, I really don't feel like you on social media if you're not trying to chase some clout. I say that on my platform. Didn't I just come out here and congratulate because it's growing? Is that not clout chasing of some sort, wanting my platform to get bigger? I just believe that God has told me to do it in an integrous way. I don't believe that I'm supposed to have to get down and dirty for my platform to grow. And the fact that it's growing, it might be growing slowly, but it's growing. So that leads credibility to my belief. But you bring it to the internet and then you just spread it out like that. And people are saying Queen Amidala was like, you can't rush him. It was like, I don't know if he said that on the video or if Queen Amidala or Lovely T said it, but basically it was saying that when you rush in somebody that has been through a traumatic experience, it's highly possible that you can re-trigger that trauma. Now I'll say this. It's public social media. When you're on public social media, anything goes. I understand the statement, however, because my therapist and I just talked about that. That blew my mind when I heard it over again. I'm like, yo, we just talked about that. it can create a newer trauma. And that may be too much to bear when you might not be able to make it through. So that is understandable. But when you put your stuff online, when you put your stuff on public social media, it's like you want social media's opinion. That's what people don't get. When you get to putting your stuff on social media, Simone Biles, just a few months ago, I said that because I made a video about it. But I was defending her. I think people were talking about her hair. I think people was talking about her hair because people stupid and ignorant. I think people was talking about her hair, and I was like, baby, if you don't. But now it's about your marriage. And now people are, because and every woman that I have watched agrees that they feel like her husband was backed into that place by those messy interviewers. Because men can be messy too. And they were just messy. And they wanted to know if he thought he was, if she was the catch or he was the catch. And he was like, he always thinks men are the catch. I'm not mad at that statement either. I'm not mad at that statement because, guess what? I think I'm the catch. And with the right one, I can't imagine that Simone don't think she the catch. I said that to say that. I can't imagine that she don't think she the catch either. But then they just got a little deeper because he's saying he ain't know her. And they, public stuff, when you put your stuff on social media, y'all out here trying to see who the best athlete. Y'all doing stuff like, y'all don't try to stay relevant when you marry. Try to stay married. In this day and time, try to stay married, baby. Don't try to stay relevant. Don't try to stay relevant, and do not let your followers, because they're not your fans. They're your followers. Some of them may be your fans. The ones that are truly your fans are not just going to tell you to up and leave your marriage. Anybody that's telling you to up and leave your marriage is probably some sad, miserable person that does not have a marriage and may got their eyes on your man. But let me tell you something. When he said, because things he said made sense. He spoke about him not believing. He was like, it shocked me that I was going to settle down. He was like, because I'm in the NFL. Come on now. That's the NFL. That's the NBA. That's the hip hop and the R&B music industry. And it's probably the rest of the sports and the rest of the industries as well. It ain't even just industries. That's what Kevin Samuels' page was all about. Once they get to a certain financial bracket, the women's flock to the monies. They're flocking to the monies more than they're flocking to the person. So, it is probably true, and he's a handsome man too. It's probably true that you had a lot of women at you. But she was the one that was able to keep your attention. So then people wanted to go to her not being his type. How do you know what his type is? Even if, because the one dude was like, I went down and go to his Instagram page and you can see everything, you can see his type. Let me say this. Every rapper that I know that has been married for a long time, wife is just normal pretty. They not Kim K, BBLs and injected lips. They are just normal, fly women. Period. Sometimes they have a different fantasy, but that fantasy is not the one that's getting all the bread. The wife is the one getting all the bread. The fantasy might get a Birkin bag. You're dealing with a real good one, you might get you a car. What you ain't gonna get is houses and cars, plural. You're never gonna get more than the wife get. So Simone, baby, don't try to stay relevant. Try to stay married. On to the next, on to the next one, on to the next, on to the next one. Kim and Croy. Whew. Kim and Croy. Because when I watched that video, I'm so... You never know what's real and what's fake and who is doing something for her. So I kind of just blew over it at first. And then Lovely T played it. I watched it well before Lovely T played it. And when she spoke on it, go check out Lovely T, y'all. She just made me think about it in a different aspect, in a more of a mental health aspect of it. Because she says, the right woman can either make you or break you. And she said that Kim broke him. And I went on to say, she broke his spirit and his pockets. And we can do that like my buttons and say that he allowed her to do it. When you feel like you are in love with somebody and he was just a small town boy, taken with Kim, man. And Kim has always, you can only talk about what they show you, Lord, always been about the money. For the love of money, people will go they Big Papa for the love of money. He really was gone. And I think I may have been watching it and doing something else because I don't even think that I was listening like I heard it when I was watching it. But like when the cops came, she was like crying fake tears, fake crocodile tears, and he was about to lose it. And he is the one that's gonna be looked down on. Like the men out here getting a bad rap. It's men coming out of the woodworks because women is all out here accusing. I don't even believe everybody that's being accused is guilty. Now it's Jermaine Jackson. Jermaine Jackson, Vin Diesel, Puffy, MC Light. MC Light name got called out for her lyrics. They calling out names for lyrics from back in the day. Like this is a whole lot of mess. That she ain't called out for no abuse, but they called out MC Light, and I forgot who the other two people is for Bell Biv DeVoe and somebody else for lyrics in their songs, and I'm just like it's enough to make your head spin if you let it. If you let it. She is selling his clothes, man, for half price. She out there selling his clothes like you done gambled all the money away. Your house is in foreclosure. When just like that, she got Real Housewives of Atlanta and Don't Be Tardy for the Party. And whatever little bit of royalties that she probably made from the song Don't Be Tardy for the Party, because her and Candy, they had their issues with that. But you had all of that opportunity to help your husband and y'all pay for that house. And now he has to go back and relive even the fact that his family said, don't do that one. Sometimes we have to make our own decisions and learn. Kim not going to get no good from that because you got what you had been asking for all of these. You got your husband, baby. You got your husband. And you felt like it was okay to do that. Squander all the money away. And your baby's supposed to take your back, but they know that that man been there for them like nobody's business. I believe you're going to reap what you sow for that one. That's not a good look. Kim Zolciak. It's not a good look, baby. Not at all. Not at all. Let me give you some more advice from Lovely T. Lovely T said y'all better try to keep y'all money because they, all caps they, is trying to get your money and make it cashless while they keep theirs. And I'm going to say this. God mentioned something like that to me I started doing that platform. Because I don't know if God is saying say it right now. I won't say it, but I will say that God mentioned something like that to me. I'm gonna put it in prayer and see how God want me to deliver that, because I don't believe that that's the end. That's why I thought. That's why I wrote it down when she said it. You're already seeing things that just go haywire when you're doing business online, and how the potential can be to go haywire. We have to be careful. As I stated, we have to walk forward into this technological time, but we also have to be careful, aware, and alert that we are not just. Sometimes the God needs for somebody to be a rebel and stand out and say something. But Boo said a lot of people ain't gonna say nothing because nothing comes to your front door. If it don't come to your front door, then you're not gonna say nothing. That's not always a good way to be, because mess around and wait for that thing to hit your front door and it'd be more than you could take. IJS. IJS. One last thing. I only have one little piece of anonymous information. At the end of that video that I watched, he showed a video of a woman, a Muslim woman, that was attacked by the Taliban. And she was standing up there talking so boldly and so brave after having going through that attack. And he said that that was her. She found her power in her inner man. And that made me think about the Proverbs 31 woman. When you look up the definition of a virtuous woman, there is nothing in Strong's exhaustive concordance. There is nothing in a dictionary. There is nothing in etymonline.com that is going to describe anything but manly behaviors, masculine behaviors. And then when it goes and refers to Proverbs 31, it just says woman. That's all that it says in the definition, is woman. You don't even name not one feminine quality. All chivalrous and all kinds of things like valor and all that stuff like that. All things that were associated with men. So this woman exhibited her power. She didn't just walk around just... But when she had to bring it out, she brought it out. But it won't never not there. That's why God's saying, soften, lady. If you hard to the core, soften, lady. Because the heart ain't going nowhere. The power, it's a difference between being hard and being powerful. Hello, beautiful. It is so very possible for us to run the world. But that starts with us. And even if we are going to run the world, we're not never going to run it by ourselves, ladies. We have men here for a reason. Let's not try to do this without them. Beautiful Sylvie loves you, and she is out.